Welcome to the series of video lectures on microwave engineering. Today we will discuss traveling wave tubes amplification process. So this is the structure of traveling wave tube. So since it is using a helical coil, this is also called helix traveling wave tube. HTWT stands for helix traveling wave tube. See here you can see that there is a cathode. So there is a heater. So which heats this cathode? So this cathode is given a negative potential V0. So V0 is the potential given to the cathode. So this is the electron beam which is traveling from the cathode to the collector. So in order to collect the electrons, the collector is given a positive polarity to collect the electrons. So here there is an anode red one shown. So this is used as gain or modulation control voltage. So in this there is an also overload relay, helix current overload relay, which is used to indicate any overload conditions in the circuit. So this is all about this structure. So it also consisting of, in this you can see that there is a helical slow wave structure. We have seen different types of slow wave structures. We use here helical slow wave structure. The electron beam passes through these helical slow wave structures. There is a focusing magnet. You can see this electron beam focusing magnet. There are two magnets which are used to focus this electron beam. So basically this traveling wave tube is used as an amplifier. So here you can see that RF input is given to the input of the helix, where we take the RF output at the end of the helix. So this is entire is called as length of the helix. So we can see this, there is an amplified signal. The basic mechanism is that there will be an interaction between the electron beam and the field. So because of this, the amplification process occurs. Let us see all the details of this traveling wave tubes further. See, first point, a helix traveling wave tube consisting of an electron beam and a slow wave structure. As I explained earlier, so there is an electron beam. You can see this is the electron beam which is traveling from cathode to the collector. So there is a helical slow wave structure which is used. This is the helical slow wave structure which is used. The RF input is given to this helix end. Now I have explained in the previous lecture what is the purpose of this slow wave structure. The purpose of this slow wave structure is to reduce the velocity of the RF input such that there will be a better interaction between the electron beam and the RF input. For this purpose, this slow wave structure is employed in the tube. Now, which we have discussed about the slow wave structures in the previous class. Now, the electron beam is focused by a magnetic field. Why this is done? To prevent the spreading of the electron beam as it travels down the tube. So due to this, it comes into the category of linear beam tubes or O-type tubes. See here you can see that two magnets are placed like this. So these are called as focusing magnets. So they are used to focus the electron beam as it travels from cathode to the collector. So that's why these are called as linear beam tubes or O-type tubes. Similar to two cavity klystron, reflex klystron, it also comes into the category of linear beam tubes or O-type tubes. O stands for original type tubes. See the applied signal. Now let us see the applied signal, that means the RF input. The applied signal propagates around the turns of the helix, and this produces an axial electric field at the center of the helix directed along the helix axis. So this is the very important point, axial electric field. We have to observe this point carefully. Here what you can see this point, the RF input is given to the helix. So this RF input will travel through the turns of the helix. So this will create the RF input traveling through the turns of the helix will create an axial electric field. Very important word, axial electric field. So this axial electric field will travel in this direction. So the axial electric field will travel in this direction. So that is what the very important point here. The axial electric field, how this axial electric field is generated? So this axial electric field is generated because of the RF input traveling through the helix. Now, with what velocity this axial electric field travels? Let us see. With what velocity this axial electric field travels? Let us see in the next point. So the axial electric field, so which is created because of RF input, progresses or propagates with a velocity that is very close to velocity of light multiplied by ratio of helix pitch to helix circumference. So this is the formula we have given in slow wave structure. What is the phase velocity of axial electric field here? The phase velocity of axial electric field is c, velocity of light, into ratio of pitch of the helix. As you know that pitch is nothing but a distance between two turns. Pi d is nothing but a circumference of the helix. So this is a very important formula, Pc by pi d, which we use this formula to solve the problems. Now, so this is what, coming to the next one. So you can see that this is the axial electric field. This is the diagram, another important diagram. So this is the axial electric field. I have explained how this axial electric field is created because of the RF input traveling around the turns of the helix. So in this axial electric field, the electron beam is traveling. The electron, so this, you can see these dotted lines, blue dotted lines, this is the electron beam traveling. So you can see that there is a retarding field. So this is accelerating field. So let us see what happens when these electrons travel through this axial electric field. So when the electrons enter the helix tube, an interaction takes place between the moving axial electric field and moving electrons. So as you know that once the electron enters the helix tube, what happens? There will be an interaction taking place between what? The axial electric field and the moving electrons. The electrons entering the retarding field are decelerated, those in accelerating field are accelerated. So they begin to form bunch centered around about those electrons that enter the helix during the zero axial field. So this is a very important point. You can see that in this diagram. So this is the axial electric field. This diagram it is shown it as retarding field. So why? Because the field is decreasing. The field is decreasing. That is, this is shown as retarding field. This retarding force, the field exerts a retarding force. You can see this red one's retarding force, because those electrons fall into this retarding field are decelerated. So this is the accelerating field because the electric field is increasing. That's why it is called as accelerating electric field. So those electrons that are falling into the accelerating electric field are accelerated. So therefore some of the electrons are accelerated, some of the electrons are deaccelerated. They all turn out into bunches. So now, so these bunches, what will see? These bunches, what they will do? Let us see. Since the DC velocity of electrons is slightly greater than axial wave velocity. So generally the DC velocity of electrons is slightly greater than axial velocity, that is, which we have given in earlier formula. More electrons are in the retarding field than in accelerating field. So therefore more electrons will fall into the retarding field when compared to the electrons fall into the accelerating field. So as a result, greater amount of energy is transferred from the electron beam to the electromagnetic field. Since more electrons are falling into the retarding field, so than that of electrons falling into the accelerating field, so these electrons falling into retarding field will transfer their energy to the axial electric field. So therefore, because of this process, this axial electric field, as it travels along the helical tube, it becomes stronger, more and more stronger, because the electron beam continuously transferring its energy to this axial electric field. So due to this continuous transfer of this electron's energy to this axial electric field, this axial electric field becomes strengthens while it travels along the length of the tube. See, finally, the microwave signal voltage in turn amplified by the amplified field. So because of this field, the axial electric field is amplified because of energy transfer of electrons to this field. So therefore, the microwave signal, which is amplified because of this. The bunch continues to become more compact. That means as bunch becomes more compact, and a larger amplification of the signal voltage occurs at the end of the helix. So this is how the amplification process occurs. I will explain in short in this diagram. Let us see. So in short, remember these points. So the RF input is going through this helix. What will happen? it will create an axial electric field which is shown in the diagram. So the axial electric field is traveling like this. The electron beam is traveling through this axial electric field. So those electrons that fall into retarding field, though they will transfer their energy, to this axial electric field. So because of this axial electric field, the axial electric field becomes more and more stronger. So which in turn, the signal traveling in the helix tube becomes more and more stronger. So finally, when it come out of the helix, it will become an amplified signal at the end of the helix. So that is what is the process is happening in this helix. Now finally, an attenuator placed near the center of the tube reduces all reflections from mismatched loads to nearly zero. So you can see this in this diagram. In this diagram, an attenuator is placed at the center of the helical tube. So why the purpose of this attenuator is to minimize the reflections. If at all any reflections are there, these reflections are minimized to zero with the help of this attenuators. Basically, this structure is used as an amplifier, so which provides very high gain. So let us see some of the typical characteristics of these TWTs. So let us see these characteristics. Frequency range is 3 GHz and higher. Bandwidth about 0.8 GHz. Efficiency is about 20 to 40%. Power output is up to 10 kilowatts average. Power gain is up to 60 dB. So these are the typical characteristics of helical traveling wave tube, which is basically used as an amplifier. Thank you.